What's up? What's up? Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 15th, so 10:15. Let's get going. All right, you see what we got to do. Let's get going. Cool. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to take a few minutes to check in with your Aries, your Canvas. So I've updated some grades. I think we're on to offer empathy. So if you haven't turned that in, make sure to get that in. And I think the last thing is the volleyball CER. Everything else has been updated. Make sure that when you go to Aries, some people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this assignment is. I copy and paste the names of the assignments from Canvas to Aries. So it should be the assignment with the same name. So go to Canvas and see what's going on. Did you turn in the correct assignment? Did you put your name on it? Did you even complete, like, there's a whole bunch of things. Sometimes people turn in things blank. There's all kinds of different situations. So go to Canvas and see what's going on. Make sure you look at the comments, because I leave you comments like letting you know like what's happening, and sometimes people don't even look at that, and they just leave me comments asking me questions that I've already answered in the comments. So make sure that you do all of those things. I know we're getting into the habits the first trimester, and I'm getting y'all into that. Make sure you check your email. You got 5 minutes to do that. We're not going to take 5 minutes on this video. However, we took 5 minutes in class, maybe about 7. So make sure to turn in whatever you need to turn in. All right, moving forward. All right. So we talked about this yesterday in the class. We went over this yesterday in the class. So we went over all of this. Some of the classes were a little behind, so we got to do this in class. But just the things to be thinking about is in this scenario here, you got 3 people, so you can apply 3 different forces. But their positioning does not seem prime, and their faces also don't seem to exert. So these are all pieces of evidence where this person looks like they're exerting, muscles seem flexed, right? They also seem like they're a little bit bigger of a person, which means their muscles can exert more force. Their positioning also looks to be prime for being able to push a car. So these are some different things to be thinking about, and we just kind of had that in the discussion yesterday. All right, let's keep it pushing. All right, so why do some objects require more force to move than others? Now, most people have seen this already, right? Most people have been to a place like this. It's a bowling ball or bowling alley. You go there, you get the shoes, then you go and select the ball. And a lot of people got different things. Either people will pick up the ball and they're kind of like going like this, right? That's what some people told me. They were going like this. And they're like, I'm trying to see how heavy it is. Can I lift it? They're like, can I exert enough force? Some people are going to swing it, right? They're like, I'm going to swing that thing, right? Because they're like, that's what I'm going to have to do. So can I exert enough force? And can I have accuracy? Because with bowling, you're going to need both. So in the bowling alley, you can see that different bowling balls will require different force to be able to get them to go down the alley. So why do some objects require more force than other objects? That is the question we're going to be looking at. Now, someone asked a question about phenomena. Just remember, phenomena is something that's happening that you do not know, right? Like you're currently you're unaware of, like, how does it actually work? All right, cool. So this is what we're gonna do. If you're not in class, then you've got 2 options. Well, actually, you only got 1 option. Is go to page 46, which is a blank page in your journal. Again, it's a blank page in your journal, and just draw all these boxes out. And then, so it'll be 1 box at the top, and then the 3 boxes here, and then you just label 1 before instruction, during instruction, and after instruction. We are at before instruction right now. So you see the question, why do some objects require more force than others to move? And then we are at before instruction. Answer that question in that box over there, okay? So again, if you're at home and this is what you're doing, then you're just gonna have to make some boxes, okay? It's okay. But again, page 46, a blank page, you can recreate this, and then boom, you can go and answer that question in that before instruction. In class, we're just gonna discuss it a little bit. I'm not giving out any answer. So you just put what you think. We've done a little bit about applying forces to different objects and what was their movement like. We wrote a whole CER on that. We did some labs on that, some lab activities. So what do you think? Hopefully you've got some idea. So just apply again what you believe. Okay, let's keep it moving. All right, this is page number 47. Fill out what you can. Fill out what you can. Some people were struggling, especially with Newton's second law. Remember, in the reading the Lincoln Literacy, we had Newton's first, second, and third law. So hopefully you at least know what Newton's third law is, that for every action force, there's a what? equal and opposite reaction force. Hopefully you're gonna know, you should know what mass is. Not hopefully, you should know what mass is. It's what something is made out of, right? Like all the atoms, molecules, the things that it's made out of. And then you should know what force is way down there. Force, right, is that push, right, or pull, right? Now we're talking about forces in a different way. We talked about forces last time. We talked about their push or pull, that they act on object. They're measured in newtons. We talked about those things. They can be contact forces, or they could be forces at a distance. But now we're talking about balanced and unbalanced forces. Net forces results in what? Does it result in? And so here's something that might be helpful. Go back to page number 33, where we wrote down the stuff for the Lincoln literacy. See if you can find some things that might be helpful for you. So make sure to go back to that page and see what you can fill out. Again, this is for you just to do some thinking, some reading, some thinking, and see what you can fill out. So do that. All right, y'all. Moving on to the next thing here. Blat out. Now, by the way, did you get that done? Back on page 47. Do as much as you can on page 47, okay? Cool. Now we're going to be here. I want you to pause this video. Again, I want you to pause this video on page number 49 and read the first 5. Again, the first 5 instructions there. And then I'm going to show those to you on the screen. So again, read the first 5 instructions. Thank you. Okay, hopefully the microphone is working now because it was having some technical difficulties. But now we are back. Hopefully the sound is pretty good. However, this is what we're going to do. Remember, it just said roll the ball to the other person and then they're going to flick it. So, but here's the thing is, they're going to flick a tennis ball or ping pong ball, right? So they're going to do both. But you need to use the same amount of force each time. So if you're going to use a lot of force, then you need to use a lot of force. And if you're going to use a little bit, then just use a little bit. So whichever one. But if you have a ping pong ball and a tennis ball, or you have two, you know, kind of things like this at your house that might be around these kind of masses, then they have a different mass, one lighter, one more mass, then you can be able to do this. So we're just going to go ahead and roll this thing. So we're going to roll the ping pong ball first, and then I'm going to flick it. And I'm going to try and use full force. Oh, I didn't really get a good hit on it. We're going to try it again. We're going to try that again. I don't really get a good. Okay, did you see that? Okay, so let's roll the tennis ball. All right. Now you saw their movements. Were their movements exactly the same? Did they travel the same speeds? What was going on there? So I'm going to pause. We're going to try and see if we can see that one more time. Okay, let's watch the ping pong ball speed again. I'm going to try and use the same amount of force. Okay, that went all the way across the classroom. Here's the tennis ball. Ugh. Okay, so that kind of landed at the end of the table. So again, you saw them both, right? Do they move the same when the same amount of force applied? Now it's time to like answer some questions. So just go through and answer questions 6 through 10. And then in box number 10, you also need to go ahead and draw. And it's telling you, make a diagram comparing the forces, comparing the force, mass, and relative speed of the ping pong ball and the tennis ball. Some people drew a line down the center and drew some stuff here and drew some stuff there. Some people drew a line down this way. Either way is totally fine. Not a big deal. And then here, just make sure to answer questions 6 through 10. All right, y'all, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Peace.